So before we get to this, let's start from the beginning. So I have a lot of different things I want to do in this episode. The first thing is to set up some nether portals. So I want to set them up by the two villages here, and I want to also explore a bit around the oceans. Oceans are a good way of just getting in a boat and exploring the coastline to see what different biomes are around. So that's one thing I want to do. One thing that I eventually want to do is build a slime farm. But when I was mining earlier, I noticed that there was a giant slime in this area, so I thought it'd be a good idea to dig it out and see if I can find a slime spawning here. So with this, what I'm going to do is hit F3 and G, and this will show the chunk borders. So you can see them right there. It's the yellow and the blue. So what I need to do is dig out an area where the slime can actually spawn and see if this is the chunk where they spawn in. If this doesn't work, I might actually have to dig a bit further. So the idea is basically just keep digging through several chunks, give enough area, probably a 4x4 area, that they can actually spawn in. So let's just dig this out quickly, and I'm only going to do about 4 layers deep in one chunk. I think it's this one. So there it is. I've dug out the entire chunk, at least 4 high, and because I'm here they won't spawn yet, so I'm gonna go and do something else, come back and see if any slime has spawned in this area. Let's talk about my ocean odyssey. First, I set up my nether portal at the desert village and got in a boat to explore the ocean. The coastline was mostly desert. I found my 10th ruin portal in the game. I kept getting pushed down by a downward bubble column before I got bored and just moved on. Found my 5th desert temple, which I raided. I explored the coastline, which surprisingly was desert. Found a shipwreck that I got loot out of one of the chests before I heard a bunch of gurgling that could have been a drowned or could have been my stomach, but I just left. Found my 6th desert temple, which you may be surprised, but I raided. I finally found a different biome than desert, swamp. Swamp isn't that exciting, but after so much desert, I was excited. Used my water flow to get higher up on a mountain to look around. Found my 11th ruin portal that I grabbed the loot from and a few crying obsidian blocks. And I finally got to the top of the mountain and took a little look around. More swamps. Oh. Okay, that was probably the worst death ever. So I pretty much just lost all of my levels, all of my armor, all of my tools. Yeah, that really sucked. Okay. Okay, so now I gotta start from scratch. That really sucks. I should have seen that coming too. I saw the smoke particle, but I didn't realize what it was. Okay. Okay, so I had enough diamonds to actually craft everything up again. And I believe I have enough cactus that I can actually smelt everything and maybe get close to level 30 and I could re-enchant everything. So level 4, level 7. Let's see. So we got up to level 24 just off the cactus I smelted, and you can see I have more cactus. So I'm just gonna keep smelting cactus until I can get my XP up enough and I can enchant all of my tools again. And there is a ton of cactus in here. Okay, so let's just take all of this cactus from this farm. You can see it's producing a ton right now, and try to get my XP. So after all of that, I pretty much used up all of the cactus that I had, and I smelted it down as much as possible. I'm still at level 29, so it's pretty easy for me to get XP and enchant things again. I've been able to enchant my boots, so I got protection on breaking and depth strider, unbreaking and protection on my pants. My chest plate and helmet aren't enchanted, and my sword is not enchanted, but I have a pretty good shovel, efficiency and unbreaking, pretty good pickaxe, fortune 2, unbreaking and efficiency 3, and a pretty good axe with unbreaking, efficiency and fortune 3. I'd have to say that was probably the best recovery I've ever had from dying in lava, because it destroyed all of my stuff. I was really far away. I had to have been at least 1500 or maybe 2000 blocks away from my base, so there was no way I was going to get there before my stuff despawned, even if I died normally. But in lava, it's completely gone. All of my loot was gone, but I'm pretty much recovered in every way, and I think I'm going to play it safe the rest of this episode instead of trying to just explore randomly in the middle of nowhere. So yeah, I'm probably going to try to set some stuff up around here. So I just returned to the spot where I dug out the chunk because I thought it could be a slime chunk, and there are 2 slimes here, so that's definitely a plus. That was probably the easiest slime chunk to find, so I should be able to set up a slime farm here when I want to. So let's just kill all these guys. And that wasn't like I did anything fancy to find the slime chunk. It was just digging down, doing some branch mining, and noticing where the slimes are spawning. So they spawned right in this chunk, so F3 and G. Here you can see the borders here. I guess I didn't dig it out properly, but this chunk is where the slime should spawn. Okay, so what I want to do is, because I don't want to set up my nether portals in this area because there are a lot of hoglins because of the Crimson Forest, and you can see skeletons are spawning. So what I want to do is find hopefully a nether waste area, maybe around here, and then dig up as high to the ceiling as I can and set up some nether portals in there. So here's where I'm going to set up my nether portals. It is close to the ceiling, so there's less dealing with mobs. There's not really any risk of lava, or at least, you know, lava seas. So this is a lot safer area to put my nether portals until I get some ender pearls, and then I can do it on the ceiling. So let's try to dig this out and find the coordinates. So the first coordinate I need is 69, and -24 is where my home base will be. I mean, this isn't always safe. You can see that there's still a cavern here, but it's pretty easy to deal with. Okay, let's see if this works. This might be a really terrible idea, but one thing about beds is they can explode. And hopefully I've shielded myself from an explosion. And it lit the portal. That actually worked somehow. Okay, let's see if this works a second time. It's probably a terrible idea to do this every time you need to set up another portal, but when you're in a bind, I guess you gotta do this. So let's put an obsidian block here, try to use the bed, and it lit the portal again. So I should just explain, with a bed, you can't use it in the nether, so when you try to use it in the nether, it explodes. I think it's pretty high explosion level, so this is actually a good way of mining in the nether, if you can believe it, to find ancient debris. But you shouldn't use a bed in the nether, you should be using a respawn anchor. There we go, and it worked. So I set up my first 2 nether portals. And as you can see, it was pretty easy, just needed to use the coordinates divided by 8, and this should either get, I have 2 set up near this, it should go to the one in the ceiling, but it might also go to the one lower down. So it did the one lower down, which could be expected. Okay, so this is risky, but let's take this out. But let's try this out. Hopefully I won't fall and die, or fall into lava. Okay, that wasn't a good sound. So ghast is trying to kill me right now, I think. There we go. There's the portal. So that actually worked and I didn't die. That's pretty impressive. Let's see if this works now. Should link the portal to my home base. Yep, there we go. So now we got our little nether tunnel, I guess, since it's only 2 portals right now. So I'm back at the desert village and I brought a bunch of supplies, and what I want to try to do is trade with the villagers and see if I can get some emeralds and hopefully some enchanted books if I can find a librarian villager. Let's explain how the villager trading works. There are 13 different professions for villagers. Each profession has a job site block that corresponds, for example with librarians, the lectern. These professions offer different trades. With villagers, if you trade with them, they gain experience and level up. There are 5 levels. At each level there are 2 trades unlocked. Also, once you have traded with a villager, this will lock their trades in. Before a villager's trades are locked in, you can break their job site block to place it again to change their trades at the first level. You can also do this to change their profession. With librarians, because one of the possible trades at the first level involves enchanted books, you can break and place the lectern until you get the enchantment on the book you want. There are a certain amount of times you can trade with a villager before the trade is disabled. The villagers can reactivate the trade twice a day when they work at their job site block. There are also different factors that affect the price of trades. One is demand. If a trade is sold out, when resupplied the price will increase. If you have the Hero of the Village status effect, by winning a raid this will lower the prices. The prices can increase or decrease depending on your reputation with the villagers. The prices increase if you've hit or killed villagers. Prices decrease if you've cured villagers from zombieism. In this situation, I brought a bunch of different supplies to the desert village, like melons, pumpkins, paper, wheat, books, paper, and job site blocks. I did not have any emeralds. What I did was use the farmer villagers to farm emeralds. At second level, there is a trade for melons and a third for pumpkins. I leveled up the farmer villagers using wheat, then if they had either the melon or pumpkin trade, I would get emeralds from them. The emeralds were needed to level up villagers and buy items from the villagers. I wanted 2 specific enchanted books. One was Mending and the other was Silk Touch. The reason I wanted Mending was to restore the durability on my tools. Silk Touch I wanted on my tools so I could get blocks like ice and blue ice. To do this, I kept placing the lecterns down, waiting for a villager to claim it, check their trades, and if I didn't get the enchantments I wanted, I broke the lectern and repeated the process. I didn't get Mending, but I got Silk Touch and Fortune 3. Eventually I ran out of villagers. So one thing that I should mention is I did not set up a villager trading hall. The reason for this is because I don't want to do all of that yet. I just want specific trades and to take advantage of the farms that I built. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you guys liked this video, leave a comment and give me some input. I'm always listening to what you guys have to say. And thanks for watching.